Hi everyone, this is Maria with the Bead Club. We're going to be making a bracelet today using some 6mm pyramid beads, and these are 2-hole beads. You can see the 2 holes there, and they're actually quite versatile beads. You can use them for a lot of beading projects. You're also going to need some 11-0 seed beads, some SuperUnos, and these are super duos with just 1 hole pretty much. And then you're going to need some size 8 seed beads as well. I have a comfortable length of thread on my size 10 beading needle, and I'm using Fireline, but feel free to use whatever you have on hand. And first we're going to pick up 2 size 8 seed beads, and you're going to let those slide down your thread, leaving about an 8-inch tail or so just to add our clasp at the end. And coming from the tail end, we're going to go through just the first seed bead, and you pull your thread nice and tight, and that makes those 2 beads sit side by side just like that. Then we're going to pick up 2 more size 8 seed beads, and we're going to go down that second seed bead on the right, and when you pull it, you get kind of that V shape going on there. We're going to go back up through the bottom one and through that second seed bead on the left hand side, and you're going to pick up 2 more size 8 seed beads and go down just the top seed bead on the right. Then we're going to go back over to the left side and go through that second seed bead on the left and then the third one. So you're going back up through that corresponding bead that your thread, if your thread is coming out of the second one, you're going to go up through the second one on the other side. If your thread is coming out of the third one, then you're going to be going up through the third one on the left side. So it's just something to keep in mind as you go along. Again, pick up 2 size 8 seed beads, go down through the top one, and you just make your beads sit nicely if they're not doing that on their own, and then up through the top 2. So down 1, up 2. And we're just going to keep doing this until we have a strip of about 1 3/4 inches. And I'll be back when I have that. Alright, now I've got my strip of herringbone stitch, and I have about 22 rows of seed beads here. So what you want to do now is you're going to pick up one of our pyramid beads, and you want to do this in such a way that the holes of your pyramid beads, which are going, if you can see them, here and here, so that the holes of your pyramid beads line up with your rows of seed beads here. So we have a left and a right row. We want to make sure that our pyramid bead holes lined up with those rows of beads. So we're going to go through, our thread is coming out of the left side of our row of seed beads here, so we're going to go through the left side of our pyramid bead, and then we're going to continue down through the right hand side and down through the very top right seed bead. going to pull that nice and tight. Then we're going to go back through that left hand seed bead, just the very top one, and through our pyramid bead on the left hand side. And we will pull that nice and tight. And that's what we'll have there. So your pyramid bead is now attached to your strip of seed beads. What we're going to do now, we're going to pick up one 11-0 seed bead, 3 of our SuperUnos, and one 11-0 seed bead. And we're going to stitch around our pyramid bead, so just the pyramid bead, just like that. So you're coming out of the left hand side, you want to cut, well, sorry, the left hand side if I'm holding it the way I was holding it all along. Your thread is coming up out of the left hand side of your pyramid bead. You want to go back around and stitch back up through that same left hand side. And then we're going to go back through those beads again, just to reinforce it so they won't be so floppy. So it will move around quite a bit on you if you don't stitch back through them at this point. Back through our seed bead there, and up through our pyramid bead. If I can get my needle back up there. Okay, there you go. And then just make sure you pull your thread nice and tight. And you'll see your SuperUnos sit a lot nicer. They're not so floppy anymore. So now we're going to go down through the right side of just our pyramid bead. I'm not adding any beads here. And then we're going to repeat what we did on the left hand side. So we're going to pick up one 11-0, 3 SuperUnos, and one 11-0. And our thread is coming down out of our right hand side, so we're going to go down through from the top side and pull our beads nice and tight, and then stitch back through all those beads again. Through our seed bead and down through the right hand side of our pyramid bead again. And then you pull your thread nice and tight. And then just to get back to the top of our bracelet so we can continue adding on, we're just going to go up through the left side of our pyramid bead. And that's what your bracelet will look like at this point. So from here, we're going to do 3 herringbone stitches. So we're going to pick up 2 size 8 seed beads, and we're going to go down the right side of our pyramid bead, and then back up through the left side and through that left size 8 seed bead, and just pull that nice and tight. We're going to pick up 2 more of our size 8 seed beads, and we're going to go through just the top right hand side seed bead. And you need to position your beads as you go along, and then up through the 2 size 8 seed beads on the left hand side. And I repeat that one more time. 2 size 8 seed beads down through just the top size 8 seed bead on the right hand side, and then up through the top 2 on the left. And then we're going to add another pyramid bead. So as I said, you want to position your pyramid bead so that your holes left and right are lined up with the left and right stacks of seed beads that we have here. So we're going to take our needle up through the left side of our pyramid bead because our thread is coming out of the left side of our seed beads. And then you continue on down through the right side of your pyramid bead and through just that top seed bead on the right hand side. Pull nice and tight. Then we go back up through the seed bead on the left hand side and through the left side of our pyramid bead. And you've attached your pyramid to your seed beads. Then we're going to pick up 1 11-0, 3 SuperUnos, and another 11-0 seed bead. Our thread is coming up out of the left side of our pyramid bead, so we're going to go around and go up through the left side of the same pyramid bead. Pull your beads nice and tight. And then we're going to reinforce those beads that we just added by just sewing back through all of them. So through all of our SuperUnos and through the seed beads as well. And then back up through our pyramid bead. And you pull nice and tight. Now I actually started off with a small piece of thread, so I am going to end my thread off and add a new piece of thread. Alright, I just made a few half hitch knots around and down my work and then cut my thread off. I'm going to add a new piece of thread now by just stitching up through a couple of beads here. And I'm just going to tie a few knots up the left side of my work. To attach my new piece of thread. I'm just going to continue to do this all the way up my work until I reach the top of this pyramid right here. Alright, we're back in position to add our embellishment along the right side of our pyramid bead here. So what we're going to do, we're just going to stitch down through the right side of the pyramid, just the pyramid. And then we're going to pick up 1 11-0, 3 SuperUnos, and 1 11-0. And our thread is coming down out of the right side of our pyramid bead, so we're just going to stitch down through the right side of our pyramid to create a nice circle of beads here. And then we're going to go back through those beads to reinforce. And back through our seed bead and down through just our pyramid bead. And pull nice and tight, and then sew back up through the left side of our pyramid to get ourselves in position to add more of our bracelet here. So now we're going to continue with our herringbone stitch. We're going to pick up 2 of our size 8 seed beads. We're coming out of the left side of our pyramid, so we're going to go down through the right side of our pyramid. And then back up through that pyramid and the seed bead on the left. Pick up 2 more size 8 seed beads and go down through just that top size 8 seed bead there. Position your beads and then go back up through the 2 seed beads on the left. Your last 2 size 8 seed beads, down through the top seed bead on the right. Oops. And up through the 2 on the left. And then you're going to add your pyramid beads like you've been doing all along. Up through the left side of your pyramid bead, down through the right side, and through the first size 8 seed bead on the right side. Up through the one on the left and through the left side of your pyramid bead. And make sure your thread doesn't get caught in all these beads that are kind of sticking out on your bracelet. And pull nice and tight. And then add your side embellishments and continue until you've used all 5 of your pyramid beads. Okay, after you've added your last pyramid bead and the embellishments that go around it, you're going to go back to doing just the herringbone strip, just like you did at the beginning of your bracelet. So we're going to pick up 2 of our 8-0 seed beads. You're going to go down through the right side of your pyramid bead. And then up the left side of the same pyramid and also through the 8-0 seed bead on the left side. Pick up 2 more 8-0 seed beads down through the 8-0 on the right side and then up through the 2 seed beads on the left. And you're just going to continue doing that until you have the desired length that you want, and it should be the same number of beads as you had on the first end of your bracelet, so that these beads will be nice and centered. Alright, I've gotten the last of my seed beads put on here for the rest of my bracelet band, and now I'm going to add on my clasp. So as usual, my thread is coming up out of the left side of my bracelet, so I'm going to put on about 4 11-0 seed beads, and then I'm going to put on 1/2 of my clasp and go back down through the last 11-0 seed bead that I strung on there. I'm going to pull my thread nice and tight. And then I'm going to pick up 3 11-0 seed beads. And I'm going to go back down through just that last 8-0 seed bead right there. And that creates a nice little V shape to hold my clasp on. I'm going to go back up through the 8-0 on the left hand side and up through all 4 of those first few seed beads there, and my clasp, back down through that last seed bead, and down through the 11-0s and the 8-0 on the right hand side. That's just to reinforce your clasp, and you can do that as many times as you want to. Now I'm going to work my way down through the right hand side of my bracelet, and I'm going to tie a few half hitch knots as I go along. And that's just so I can end my thread off. So just keep working my way down. Make a few knots. And keep going like that. And then I'm going to cut my thread off. I'm going to burn it off with my thread burner. And voila! My clasp is attached to my bracelet. And I'm going to repeat that process with my tail thread here. Your bracelet is now completed, and on the back side it's going to be nice and flat, so it'll be sitting comfortably on your hand, and then you turn it over, boom, you got this very cute bracelet there with the center embellishment. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye-bye.